quickly, and we are approaching Christmas and all those wonderful other holidays.
Don't say it.
Good times. I love this sort of whole holiday season from, end of October through to early January. It's just
Yeah.
the best. I love it.
Oh God. Well, you've got like a what, 6-year-old as well, though, so it's like
Yeah.
really good, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll say that it's all to do with him.
Yeah,
However,
yeah.
really, it's
Oh,
it's all
excuse
me.
me.
It's all me. So yes, welcome to Friday. Today, what I wanted to talk about, what I will talk about and throw at my partner in crime, Adam Truelove, is about manifestation. So
Yes.
I always used to have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the term, I'm going to manifest this, because I used to be, one of those people that would think, well, shit, if it's that easy, then yeah, I'll sit on my couch and I'll manifest, winning the lotto tonight, or I'll manifest the perfect person walking through the door. Or if it was as simple as saying, positive affirmations about what you want, then wouldn't we all just be living the perfect life?
Mm.
So I used to really poo-poo over that term until I started redefining, I guess, what it really meant, or what it means, at least to me. And through learning about NLP and learning about the mind and psychology, is taking a different view of what it means to me, manifesting. So at the core of it for me is that our thoughts create our reality. And I think if you speak to most people who are avid believers and lovers of manifesting, they will most likely agree. What you think is what you create, what you see outside of yourself. Would you agree with that, Adam?
Yes. So
Oh, he's
thoughts
desperate.
become, so if you're if you're in the realms of the secret, there's, thoughts become things.
Yeah.
Actually, it's your beliefs become your reality.
Well,
Um,
that's a different thing, though.
well, yes.
That's where I was
Well,
leading.
that's what I mean. So it goes deeper. So, the law of attraction does not work without the law of vibration.
Mm.
If you are not vibrating at the same level as your as your point of attraction, you've got to think about what your point of attraction is. So you can't attract something. Well, the point is, we're manifesting all the time. It's not like you want to sit
Yeah.
down and manifest. I want to manifest something I want. Well, you're already manifesting something you want because you're thinking about what you don't want.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that's what you're manifesting, and that's what you're getting. So it's a real there's some real fundamental things missed out when people are talking about this. I see it all the time,
Yeah.
manifestation workshop, manifestation this, manifestation that. It's like, well, the thing is, you're already manifesting. We all are, all the time. We're getting what we're thinking about the
Thoughts
most.
create our reality.
Thoughts create our reality, but it's our
We were
belief system that dictates which
determines the thought.
thoughts we pay attention to. So if you
Exactly.
and the languaging around it, I was in so many groups on Facebook and different, as a page, as a person, all that stuff.
Mm.
And I actually started coming out of them because it's all like, wealth is coming, the new house is coming, the new car is coming, the plentiful this is coming, the partnership is coming, the relationship is coming. Well, if you're saying it's always coming, it's always coming. It's
Yeah.
never actually here.
Yeah.
And I did some work with this amazing woman, and I will shamelessly give her a plug, Susanna Mihailovic. She's one of Bob Proctor's top coaches, and she turned my thinking around this. Sorry, I'll cut that cough out. And she changed my thinking around this, to, well, what, first of all, what is it you really want? And you have to ignore everything you don't want, only focusing on what you do want. Because when your point of attraction is from a place of lack, i.e., well, I'd love to have, I just don't have enough money. And okay, great. Well, how much money do you want? What's the requirement? Because you're coming from a place of lack otherwise. And then you have to vibrate at that level, which is really, for want of a better way of putting it, it's fucked up to think like that to most people. People are like, well, hang on, but I don't have it. Okay, but that's the way we've been taught. And that's why you're manifesting what you don't have. Does that make sense?
Also, yeah, from that is coming the fact that our thoughts also and our beliefs are limited by what we know and what we recognize.
Yes.
So if you are consciously saying, okay, well, then I want $1 million. Okay, I've done what you said, Adam. I'm not focusing on my lack. I'm focusing on I want $1 million. Now, that's only a conscious thought and a conscious mind statement you're making. What you have to dig deeper into is in your belief system. Do you know what $1 million looks like? Do you know what $1 million feels like? Do you recognize how you're going to achieve that? Do you believe that you are worthy of it? All of those deeper and sometimes uncomfortable questions have to be asked of yourself when you're, in order to manifest what you want, because you can only create reality from your belief system. And if in your belief system is lack, then that's what you're going to create. Yeah.
Absolutely. So therefore, if you've never experienced that reality before, even though that reality exists, how do you experience that? Well, either have a really strong sense of imagination.
Yeah.
And the ability to tap into fantasy, because that's what it is. It's fantasy. Or you must make sure that you go and mix with people that are living the reality that you want to live, because that's how you experience it. That's how you see it. Yes. I remember the first time I was getting into financial market trading, and my family do not talk in, well, half my family, my immediate family, my mum, my dad and all that, never had $1 million. Or £1 million, I should say. It just didn't happen. However, the other half of the family, my uncle was a millionaire. They were driving around in lovely cars and going shopping whenever they wanted, and had a big, beautiful Georgian 8-bedroom house with land. And my cousin was bowling around the land on a 4-wheel, one of those all-terrain vehicles, the 4-wheel buggy things, like the fast ones. And so I could see how the other half lived, for want of a better way of putting it.
Yeah, you had that unique.
And that was how I was able to, I knew that other reality existed. And I used to say to my mum and dad, well, hang on, they've got this, why can't we have that? I couldn't understand the separation. My mum and dad used to say to me, well, don't be so ungrateful, be happy with what you got, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, but we're going camping, and they're living in this, we're going camping in the south of France at the same location as they are on holiday, but my uncle's bought himself a beautiful villa with a swimming pool and a speedboat parked out the back.
Yeah.
In like a mini Venice type of scenario. And I'm constantly itchy because I've got sand in my sleeping bag, because it's beautiful. We're camping on the beach, like right on the beachfront, south of France, weather, wonderful. But
see how you were taught to just be accepting of this. This is enough.
Yeah, and when I think back of it, yeah, it was fun and enough, but that's my grown-up brain looking at it. But at the time, my 10-year-old brain was going, that's so much cooler. I'm standing there like blowing up my, with my foot air pump, blowing up my mum and dad's speedboat. And then my uncle's got this chocolate, it was called hot chocolate, this beautiful brown, it sounds horrible, but like dark chocolate brown speedboat with a big white fin and white leather seats and super fast. And I was just like, what is going on here? Why can't we have it? I didn't get it. So that's how I experienced the alternate reality, for me to be able to put myself in it. Like, I'd lived it, I'd seen it, I'd been on that boat, I'd been in that villa, I'd seen them how they live around the corner from my house and all that kind of stuff. So mixing with other people that are living the reality that you want to live is key. It's not enough to just be still surrounded by other people that have the same sort of, well, belief and lack and things around you, because they're going to keep putting you back, and they're just going to keep reconfirming your old belief system, and your old way of thinking. If to put that in a potted, quick,
recognizing that it's a choice too, Adam.
It is a choice, 100%.
Everything is a choice. And so a lot of the time when we come from a place of lack, what we're choosing is to stay limited and stay in what is known. You know, better the devil you know than the one you don't.
Absolutely.
So we choose that limiting lifestyle, I guess. And like you were saying, as a kid, and that it's not about being ungrateful for what you have. It's actually recognizing, wow, if everything is my choice, what I believe is my choice, then I can have it all. I can choose, you know, my partners. I can choose the way I live. I can choose to buy whatever I want, and I can choose to go off the grid and put up a tent on a beach and
yeah, which for the record, if anyone in my family or my dad ever listened to it, was fantastic. It was. Yeah. I'll show you some of the. I'll dig out some of the photos. It was just beautiful. You know, it really was. It wasn't shit camping in any way or shape or form. It just wasn't a villa.
And I think that when you know, God bless them, our parents or whoever gets offended and says, "Oh, you should be grateful for that." It's coming from a limited belief that they can have more.
Yes.
You know, they don't believe that they can have more. They believe that this is as good as it gets. And so then that's, you know, guilt and offense can come in with, hey, I'm doing the best I can. You know?
Exactly right.
And yet
yeah,
we can
exactly.
have so much more when we examine our beliefs. Especially, I found anyway, talking to people, self-belief is huge. What do you truly believe you are capable of? What do you truly believe you deserve? Because we might say on the surface, and you were sort of touched on it a bit before, you hear people, generally, people, you know, say things like, I deserve the world. I'm a queen. I'm this, I'm that. And yet I want to know, when you dig down into the mud where the lotus, you know, seed is, what's the true belief under there? What's really going on, you know?
Oh, yeah. I used to have a friend that used to say that, you know, and I can that she was a queen. And at her office, I was there once, and I made myself a cup of tea in her glass mug that said Queen on it. And because so am I. I'm a queen too. Why can't I use that mug?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I didn't think anything of it. Made a cup of tea in this mug with Queen on it. Well, I mean, I might as well have emptied a bank account. You know, at that level of offense. I was like, what the? And she's like, I'm the queen. I'm the only one who can use that mug. And I was like, whoa.
Whoa,
Oh
yeah.
That's the first time I'd seen that level of like negativity towards me from that person. And actually, you know, when we delved into it, when I started to really recognize things, you know, that was just a negative. It was a shop front to a lot of pain that was inside, to, you know, deal with a lot of trauma that was before. But again, she was only manifesting life up to a certain point. You know, it was lots of band-aids around, you know, really dealing with the core stuff that was holding her back.
I love that you said the shop front, because yeah, that's exactly what it can be. And I've been there as well. And in different areas of life, you can have someone who's manifesting, so to speak, a lot of success in business, for example. However, can't understand why their relationships never work. It's going to be the same process in all the different areas of your life, where is what you're saying match what you truly believe? Because otherwise, if you've just got a shop front, and once you go through the front doors of the shop, it's a freaking train wreck, then you're going to be limited to what you can achieve in that area of life by the contents of the shop. The shop front
A
means
million percent, a million percent. I mean, current situation, I'm happy to talk about it. One of my businesses has been inactive for just over a year because some things happened out there in the financial markets, and I just wasn't focused on it at all. As soon as I've started to focus on it with the right vibes, not from a place of this is the business that bit me, because it did. Actually, it's a fantastic business. I just start to focus on the wrong thing. Talking about focus, it's roared back into action. We've pulled down our first bit of profit from it. I was telling you the other day. We've now done that 2 months in a row, and it's like, okay, like, and then when you sit and think about it, you think, what the hell was I doing? Well, we're all human, and we all, have, no one's perfect, and there's things that are always a work in process. You get what you focus on.
Yes.
I wasn't focusing on it at all. And when I was, it was not the right focus. And as soon as you put the right focus on it, bang, things come to life. It's the same with living situations, where you're living, the job you've got. If you don't like the job you're in, fucking change it, because you can. And actually, you'll find you change it to something better. But what do you believe you can do? What, more to the point, what do you believe you want to do? And then just go and do it, and it will come together. I used to own a recruitment company back in the UK, and we used to work on this premise. Well, where do you want to work? What do you want to do? And okay, let's go and do that. And let's get in front of the right person. And 9 times out of 10, don't quote me on that, but a high percentage out of 10, people would get the job, even if a company wasn't necessarily looking for them. To fill a role, they'd take them on, because it's nice to have people come and work for you that want to work for you, not just someone that's coming along just because they're like, well, I want to get paid this, and I want to have these hours because I want to do this and that. It's like, well, okay, where's the passion? All that kind of stuff. What are you trying to do? If you're a seat filler with one's bum, and a clocker in or outer at a certain time and all that, then you deserve what you get. At the end of the day, that's not really focused, but it applies to everything. What effort you're putting into your relationship, what effort you're putting into your body and your appearance, and what effort you're putting into your children. Again, we reap what we sow with all that stuff. I mean, I'm not a parent, but I've seen plenty of amazing examples of parents. Look at you, Ali, and the sprogs that you've popped out over the years. You've got grown up wonderful girls who are gunning for life, studying hard, putting effort into what they want to do. And you now got a 6-year-old, and you're putting all this lovely effort into him, and look how mega he's turning out as well. So it's you get what you focus on, isn't it? But you've always, being a parent, focused on a specific way of doing things, but you've focused on the outcome, I feel, rather than the nitty-gritty of it. The nitty-gritty is determined by the outcome you've been focusing on and what you wanted to achieve with the kids, right?
I think a lot of manifestation, when it, like you said, we're manifesting all the time. However, when people are not achieving what they say that they're focused on, I feel like the enemy to that self-belief comes in the form of fear, and following, and believing in the fear. I was talking to a couple of my clients the other day. We were having a bit of a group session, and I said to them that one of the things that shows me, and I trust shows them, how much they've grown, is that they believe they will have an outcome that they will deal with no matter what the circumstances. So they may still have a fear of, oh, it's a bit scary to, quit my job and go and do this, or it's a bit scary to go on a date with this person I've only met online, or it's a bit scary. So there's all these things that are still a bit scary. However, the difference is they believe in themselves so much that they'll go into any of these situations believing that they'll survive, they'll thrive, they'll know what to do. They trust themselves instead of relying on external things and people to save them or to give them things. And sometimes I find when people are manifesting, they're still relying on external people and things to happen, like the lotto, like someone giving them something or providing something.
Well, absolutely. And like, it's because it's an energy thing, and it's you're already manifesting. We're manifesting right now.
Yeah.
Whether you sit down and go, okay, right, we're going to have 30 minutes of manifestation. Well, you're already doing it, dumbass. It's already, you're already manifesting. No judgment whatsoever, said for humor. But you're, whether you want to sit down and manifest it or to realize that you're already manifesting it, it all comes from what you're thinking and what you were thinking before. Because what's our reality now is as a result of what we've been thinking about beforehand. There's a time lag. So, I actually sit very often and think, oh, okay, take responsibility for what the situation is and go, oh, okay, what was I thinking yesterday? What was I really focusing on before that? What have I been thinking the most about most recently? There we go. That's why we're here right now. So to come back to your point, it's not about anybody else. It's, if somebody pops up, and your favorite phrase is "you're welcome," right? So somebody pops up all up in your grill and annoying you about XYZ. Well, you're welcome, because there's a lesson to learn here. You've manifested that situation. You've manifested that important conversation. Actually, if somebody's up in your grill and telling you something about, something not very pleasant, well, there's a lesson here. You're welcome. That's what you manifested.
Exactly.
Because we constantly manifested it. So it's always a lesson to learn. The person is always there to teach you a lesson or to help push. It's always to help push you onto the right direction, onto the path of least resistance.
Yes, I love that.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I would say then, my last thought then, as in a takeaway action, perhaps from this episode, I would suggest that when we're thinking about what we want, and like you said, very much it's about focusing on what you want, not making a shopping list of what you don't want. Focus on what you want and how you want things to be. Focus on that and go another layer deeper and ask yourself, what do I believe about that?
Yeah.
And if there's a mismatch, then that's where the work has to be done, because what you truly believe is what will actually come to pass. So either do some work on it, get with a coach, get with someone who can see a different perspective and help you work through when your beliefs are limiting what you're truly capable of.
Absolutely. And try not to, I would say to any client, try not to make it about the money. The money is a byproduct of you doing something you love and are passionate about really well. The money just comes anyway. If it's a new house though, that's cool, because that will have a financial price tag. But go and view the houses. Go out and actually view them. And this is what this is what Susanna told me to do. I manifested 200 and I need to find this receipt somewhere to show you, because it's incredible. I did not have the money to move into this house. I needed a $260 something thousand deposit. And I did not have the money. And Susanna said, go and sign the contract for this house. And I was like,
Scary shit.
but I don't have the money yet. And she was like, that's lack. She said, by the date that you want to move in, are you going to have the money? And I was like, well, I hope so. She was like, are you going to have it? Yes or no? Yes. She's like, well, go and sign the contract, because that sends out to the universe, like, I'm serious. Give it to me. Give it to me. So she made me go and view these houses. And the point of viewing the houses is when you walk into that house that just hits the chord. You ever done that, when you walk into a house and you go, oh yeah, this is the one? Like, oh,
It
everything
also, though,
so good about
it
it.
lines up with, Adam, when you're saying the point of viewing the houses, it lines up with what you said before when we're talking about the $1 million lifestyle, is that if you haven't yourself experienced $1 million, what it feels like,
Yeah,
you'll be in the presence of people who are living the lifestyle that you want to live. So the house
exactly.
is the same thing. You're saying you go and view these houses.
Exactly. Test drive the car that you want, view the house that you want, go to the designer store and try those clothes on in the mirror. Whether you walk out with them or not, it's a different thing, but you've put them on. And
You've
actually,
engaged
sometimes,
the senses.
exactly, you have to see it, feel it, smell it, touch it, taste it,
Feeling of it, the whole thing. Yeah.
the whole thing, go and sit in the 5-star hotel that you want to stay at and just have a coffee and a croissant.
Because you can only think about things that you know or recognize. So by going and trying on the clothes,
Yeah,
or viewing the house, or sitting at an expensive restaurant, you're starting to know and recognize, oh, this
absolutely.
is what I want. This.
Absolutely. So when I stepped in that house eventually, which wasn't on the market, the agent I was talking to said, do you want to see something special? And I was like, yeah. When I walked in the door, it was like a James Bond house. I was like, oh, the James Bond theme tune, when he's like
Yeah.
played by strings and piano, when he's being all sexy somewhere. I was just like, oh my God, this house is insane.
Yeah.
And so I went down and signed the contract. They needed $10,000 in cash as well for me to pay. Well, $10,000 for me to sign the contract. That was the agreement level. And then I'd set that was like in the October or whatever. And by the 21st of December, I was supposed to move in with this $260,000 price tag. Fuck, nightmare. Now, as soon as I signed the contract, just before that, I designed a training program, brand new, to work with another coach. It was a $20,000 program, half to her, half to me. And out of the blue, I kid you not, out of the blue, on the day I was supposed to hand this money over, a guy messaged me out of the blue saying, I want to do some coaching with you. What have you got? I want to start. And I was like, well, actually, I've got a program called da 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 da. I'm supposed to do it, and it's going to be $20,000. And he said, okay. He said, look, I can pay half of it now, and half of it in a couple of days. The half I can pay you now is in cash. Can you come around and collect it? I'm not joking. I was like,
Sure. Let you
yeah,
jump.
no worries. Did that, went and collected the 10,000, and that was what I paid this contract with. But it's as soon as you say yes to the universe and you really start to align with what it is you want and the reason you want it and all that other stuff that goes with it, and take those big steps and make that commitment and view the houses, and that's all that process, then it'll start to happen. And I've found a photo of that receipt the other
Brilliant.
day to the property people, and
Yeah.
I continued to set. I did $540,000 worth of sales in 2 weeks, I think it was, which half of it was mine,
Unreal, right?
which was almost to the penny the exact amount of money I needed to move into that house.
Yes. So your focus aligned with your belief that, yep, I've signed the contract, so this is happening. I
Yeah.
know what the house is like. I know I want to live there, and I can see and recognize what I look like in that house.
Oh,
So
big
then
time.
it happens. That's and it's
Yeah,
not magic.
that's when you're
Not magic.
connected with every fiber of your being.
Yeah.
That's when it will happen. That's when things really start to. It's called a quantum leap.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So I think we'll wind up on that a massive drop. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. Enjoyed it immensely. I'm going to go off and manifest some good shit right now.
Don't say shit. Is there any good shit, really?
Yes. Yes. All the meaning you give the word. Yeah, I'm feeling
Absolutely.
motivated and I'm going to go and get some good stuff done. So thank you, Adam. It's been a great session. Loved it.
Awesome, baby. Love
Catch
your
you next
work.
time.